Hey, it's me, Miss Laura, and today we are celebrating National Friendship Day. So what better way to do that than to make friendship bracelets? So I'm wearing a couple here. Caitlin will be showing you how to make those ones a little bit later in the video, but I have a couple that I'm going to show you right now. But first, let's just go over what you're gonna need. You're gonna need some type of string, any colors that you like. This is actually labeled friendship thread, but embroidery thread works great. That's usually what I use when I'm at home. You will need a pair of scissors to cut your string, of course, and then tape or a clipboard or a combination of both to hold and secure your strings down in place. So first, you're gonna measure out how much you think it is. I usually go about an arm's length, and I just snip it off. And the rule of thumb is a little bit longer is better because it's easier to cut off excess than magically make your bracelet grow. Then on my next string, I line it up at the top like so, and then as long as my string cooperates, I just kind of pull it out and I measure it against that other piece. A little bit longer, and they don't have to be exactly even, so don't fret about the perfection part of it. It's just kind of getting a rough idea so you don't end up with one really long and one really short. So I'm just going to demonstrate with the two pieces at this moment. So you're going to take as many threads as you want. It could be 2, it could be 10, however many strings, depending on what knot style you're going to be doing. They all kind of start out the same. So you line up your strings, you're going to loop it kind of like you would a balloon, or if you're knotting thread, I just always loop around my finger, make it loose and big, and then you're just going to tuck it under. It's just a basic knot. Now some people are really, that's it, just a knot. Strings aren't going to go anywhere. Some people do a loop on the end instead, and they kind of knot it off the same way. This is so that they can feed their end piece through later on. See, it makes a nice loop like that. And so when you finish your bracelet, you would be able to tie it around and kind of loop that in there, and then tie it off. So it's easier to, it kind of makes like a little pulley. You can tighten it up snug and stuff like that. So either way, it's fine. You can, I've seen people add beads or all kinds of creative things. There's really not a wrong way to do it. So that's how you're going to basically start it out. And then if you have a clipboard, you can clip it down onto the clipboard, or you just tape it off like that. All right, so that's the basics. So I'm going to now show you the basic way to do a bracelet. This is the very starter one. Now, as you see, I've already got it going here. There's my basic tie off up at the top. And as I do this one, I usually just move my piece of tape down to kind of help keep it laying flat. If I had a clipboard, this would still be up in the clipboard or hanging over. There's my knot. I have 8 strings that I am using here in no random order. And I just kind of lay them out in the pattern that I want. So I'll stretch it out here. And I've always had a particular fondness for the wider bracelets because you can really see those colors. If you Google or check out, I think we have a few books here on friendship bracelet making. They'll show you even how to make patterns and stuff like that. I never got that good at them. So I'm basically just spreading out my strings right now to make it easy to work with, okay? And as you see, my strings kind of naturally fell into the pattern so that they're separated. When you initially start, they're going to be kind of jumbled up. So you'll have to kind of remind your strings what order. So the basic knot for this is the 4 shape. See how it kind of makes a number 4. So you take it down and you're going to lay it over the string that we're going to be working with. This color is the one that we're going to be going all the way across. So I make a number 4. I just kind of hold it in place. I'm going to go underneath that blue one. Oops. And they will try to grab. And I'm going to pull my yellow one all the way up. Now, if you accidentally pull the blue, see how that loop switches to blue. So we want to pull the correct string all the way up. And that's 1, and we're going to repeat that step 2 times. So there's your number 4, crossed over the blue, under the blue, and you want to make sure you pull all that string across. Now right now my string's easy. Pull it tight all the way up. My strings are a little bit shorter because I've been working with it. So now we're going to repeat that. See how this yellow automatically scoots over? Makes it really nice. It just automatically falls in line to do the next one. So we're going to repeat that movement on the next string. So there's my number 4, under the green, and then I pull it up through and pull it tight. And we repeat that 2 times on each string. So, and then I go to my next string. Number 4, under, pull it tight 2 times. And you'll do this all the way across. And I'm going to go just a little faster here so you can see what it transitions to. As you see, as I'm moving, these little strings that I've already worked move over as well. So you can kind of see that line up taking shape. So number 4 and pull, number 4 and pull. And you could make that 4 big, it could be skinny. The main thing is that you're crossing over, going under and looping, and pulling up. And this little number 4 knot is the key to most of the bracelets that you're going to be making. So get really comfortable. And when you do a wider band with this, it only takes like maybe 2 or 3 rows and you've got that knot down. I taught a little girl here at the library, Miss Maya, in just not even an hour's time how to do it. I think within 15 minutes she was making her mom her own bracelets. So as you see, my yellow automatically fell to the end of the line and the blue came to the beginning. So you can see how your strings automatically rotate. And then you're just going to pick up that blue one and you're going to repeat the steps that we just did. It's just like the yellow ones. That number 4, loop through, and 2 times. So that is your basic knot. And like I said, you can do it with 1 bracelet or 1 string. You can do it up to 20 strings, however wide you want it. The more strings you have, obviously, the thicker the bracelet goes. And when you get to your end, when you're all done with it, I've always just tied off mine just like how I did up here at the top. I just gather all my strings, loop it together. I'll just demonstrate here. I would gather up, say all this was done, I would gather it all up, loop it together, and I'm going to do this very loosely because I want to finish my bracelet. And I would be all done, and I would pull that tight, wrap it around my bracelet, and I would just tie it off like this. I don't mind the little fringes and the strings. It's what I grew up doing, but if you want to make that prettier, you can hook beads on there, make little tassels, however you want to do. All right, so that's our first and most basic line. And as you see, they do go crooked. It might twist. That's okay. They'll lay nicely on you and stuff. So now I'm going to show you another way to do it. Let's see. This next string is still using that number 4 mark, but it is going to make a pattern. Instead of the splayed out ones like this, as you see, it's all grouped together. And the secret with this one is, depending on how many strings you have it will make a fatter roll. So my daughter usually does it with just 2 strings, and it makes it really skinny. I chose 4 strings because I like it a little bit thicker. So with this one, you kind of section off. I'm only doing 2 colors. You can do this with as many colors as you want. And this time, instead of rotating strings, you're going to kind of be using the same string to rotate all around them. And it gives you this really nice little ridge line of knots. And depending on how you move your string, it will show you how to do that. So obviously I've got a pattern going. So I'm going to pick out my blue string. And these 3 will stay clustered together. Now, I've counted out how many times I've done the knot. So I'm doing it 10 times. You can do it as many as you want. Again, it's going to be your basic number 4, just like I taught you with the other one. And it's going to go over all 3 of the strings, all of these middle strings. And I loop it under them. They went over, then around and under. I did that. There we go. And then you pull it. So it's the same thing that we were doing with the single strings, but now we're doing it with all of them. And you're going to repeat that however many times that you wanted your band width to be. So like I said, I did it 10 times, so I have to do it 10 times. So my number 4, looping over, I'm going around, under, and I pull that single string up. 2, 3, and you can start to see it thicken. And some people, well, actually, I can't talk and count at the same time, so bear with me. But some people will actually take a white piece of paper and lay it down and mark off. They'll pre-measure their little sections. If you're really a big perfectionist, you can do that. I just wrote on my piece of tape how many times I'm doing it, because a lot of times I stop and start these things. So you just pull it and see, you can see that little ridge starting there. It makes a really nice pattern. I'll just finish this up. 6. Alrighty, and because I am rotating my colors, once I finished up with that blue, I'm going to take my pink. Now you'll notice it doesn't really matter. You don't have to rotate your strings like how you did on this other one. You're just rotating your colors. But I kind of look and I'm like, oh, there's a really long pink one. I think I'm going to use that one next. So I pull that one out. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the pink one. And I just pull that blue one that I just used. I've gathered it in here in that middle cord. I make my number 4. See, there it is. And it's over here right now, but that's okay. It's going to fall in the line. Don't fret about it. So you do your number 4. Make sure the string's laying over the middle bunch. You wrap it around and under and pull up through the loop. And you pull it up. And now we're beginning the pink. Now, if you want to, it is the same motion. You can do this. You don't have to alternate colors. With this string right here, I've been doing the same thing, but I've used an ombre thread. So it automatically kind of fades through the colors. And it's the same movement, but I'm only using 2 strings, so that's a total of 3 strings. And see the difference in the size? Can you see that? How much thicker this one is than that one. So that's what I was talking about. That middle, that core, it's going to determine the thickness of your bracelet. And also with this one, I've kind of rotated where my string goes. I'll show you. Again, it's the basic number 4, but I wanted more of a spiral motion going on. So as I go, I kind of watch to see where my knot is and how the ridge is going, and I will kind of rotate my strings so that I get that nice spiral look going on with it. And it just kind of naturally wraps it around. Can you see that? See how it kind of wraps it around the string? Whereas with this fatter one, it kind of stayed heavily on one side and didn't, you know, have the tight little spirals. So that's a way that you can change up that pattern, is just by rotating your strings to get that tight little corkscrew spiral going on. So there you have it. There is a couple of different ways, and then Miss Caitlin is going to be showing you one more. I think it's with the square knot. That's the pattern that she did with these ones, and that should give you enough variety that you can make all your special friends in your life.
Alrighty, so I'm going to teach you guys how to make a friendship bracelet using the square knot. You're going to need 4 different strings, 2 of each different colors. I have green and black over here. Alrighty, so you want your string length to be about an arm's width, and you might want to make it 2 because this takes up a lot of string doing this type of knot. Okay, for the setup, I have the top taped down up here, and then I also have it taped on at the end of the table too. Alright, so to make the knot, you're going to do a 4. See how it makes the shape of a 4? And this will be the string that you're going to want in the inside. You're going to take the string that's going to be on the outside and put it over the other string. So I'm going to take my green string and put it over the black string. Then you're going to take the green string again and go up underneath the middle. Pull it all the way through. Now I'm going to go underneath this black string right here and come up through too. Notice how I make both of my strings even compared to the middle. Then you're going to grab both and pull it up at the same time. And that's how you make your square knot. Now you're going to repeat it. The black is always going to make the 4. So this one, now you're going to do it on the opposite side. So the black is going to make the 4. Green string goes over the black, underneath the middle, and out through the 4. And remember to pull it evenly. And you just keep repeating it. So 4, green over black, underneath the middle, out through the 4. And that is how you make a square knot.
As always, share with us what your creations are. We love seeing those pictures. Okay, well, happy National Friendship Day. Bye-bye.